remember the day my life changed forever. It was a quiet, unassuming morning, the sun's rays filtering through my bedroom curtains. I had always felt a peculiar sensitivity to the supernatural, a sixth sense that set me apart from others. But on that fateful day, that dormant ability would awaken, thrusting me into a world of darkness and horror. As I went about my daily routine, a flickering movement caught my eye, a faint figure, hazy and translucent, standing in the corner of my room. My heart leaped in my chest as I realized what I was seeing, a ghost. But this was no ordinary apparition, this was the spirit of a murder victim, trapped between realms, seeking justice. Fear and curiosity warred within me as I approached the ghost. Its ethereal form trembled, its eyes pleading for help. In that moment, I knew I had been gifted with a rare ability, the ability to see the souls of those whose lives had been taken too soon. It was a burden, a responsibility that I couldn't ignore. Word of my newfound gift spread like wildfire, and soon I found myself thrust into a series of unsolved crimes. Families haunted by the loss of their loved ones turned to me in their desperation, hoping that my ability could shed light on their tragedies. With each encounter, I delved deeper into the grim tapestry of human darkness, determined to bring closure and justice to the restless spirits. But as the body count rose and the cases grew more complex, a chilling realization settled upon me: someone was targeting those who sought my help. The killer, aware of my involvement, sought to silence the voices of the dead by silencing me. It was a race against time, a battle of wits and survival as I navigated a treacherous landscape of secrets and shadows. The police, recognizing the value of my unique gift, assigned a team of seasoned detectives to work alongside me. We became an unlikely alliance, a woman straddling the line between the living and the dead, and a group of dedicated investigators bound by their duty to protect and serve. Together, we unraveled the intricate threads that connected the victims, following a trail of breadcrumbs that led us closer to the truth. As the pieces of the puzzle fell into place, suspicion cast its long, sinister shadow over our once solid bonds. Trust became a fragile commodity, shattered by the revelation that the killer was someone close to me, someone I had come to consider a friend. The shock of betrayal mingled with the terror of being pursued by a predator who knew my every move. In the final, chilling showdown, the lines blurred between hunter and hunted. Darkened alleyways became the stage for our deadly dance, the sounds of our struggle swallowed by the night. Adrenaline coursed through my veins as I fought for my life, my gift of seeing the dead becoming both my salvation and my curse. In a climactic moment, the truth was revealed, a truth more horrifying than I could have ever imagined. The killer, the one who had stalked me, hidden in plain sight, was driven by a twisted desire for power and control. They had manipulated events, leaving a trail of death and despair in their wake. And now, they would stop at nothing to silence me forever. In the final, heart-pounding moments, I fought with all my strength, every fiber of my being focused on survival. The echoes of the dead whispered in my ears, their voices guiding me, urging me to vanquish the evil that threatened to consume us all. It was a battle of wills, a testament to the strength of the human spirit in the face of unspeakable darkness. And as the last breath of the killer escaped their lips, the weight of their crimes lifted from my shoulders. I stood amidst the wreckage, battered but victorious. The ghosts that had haunted me, the spirits of the murdered, found peace at last. But the scars of that harrowing journey would forever be etched upon my soul. Now, as I gaze into the night sky, the stars shining like beacons of hope, I am reminded of the fragility of life and the enduring power of the human spirit. The horrors I have witnessed have left an indelible mark, but they have also given me a purpose, to help those lost in the shadows find their way to the light. The flickering candlelight cast dancing shadows on the old wooden table as we gathered around, our eyes wide with anticipation. The board game sat before us, a relic of the past, its weathered box holding secrets we could scarcely fathom. Little did we know that our innocent desire for entertainment would lead us down a path of unimaginable horror. The night was young, and our spirits were high as we rolled the dice and took our turns. The game seemed innocent enough at first, its colorful tiles and intricate designs drawing us deeper into its mysterious allure. But as the hours wore on, the atmosphere grew heavy with an unspoken unease. It was during the fourth round that everything changed. The room seemed to pulse with an otherworldly energy, the air crackling with anticipation. The board game trembled beneath our fingertips, its pieces shifting and rearranging themselves. A collective gasp escaped our lips as the room spun, our surroundings warping and twisting. When the chaos subsided, we found ourselves in a place that defied all logic, a dark, foreboding dimension that bore no resemblance to our own. Fear knotted in our stomachs as we realized the gravity of our situation. The game had become a portal, a gateway to a realm where survival was not guaranteed. We were no longer friends gathered around a table, we were survivors thrust into a deadly game, pawns in a twisted reality that sought to consume us. Our mission was clear: we had to solve the game's puzzles, navigate its treacherous challenges, and find a way back home. With each passing moment, the dimension revealed its true nature. Malevolent entities lurked in the shadows, their eyes gleaming with a hunger for our souls. We became pawns in a cruel game of cat and mouse, our lives hanging in the balance as we fought to outsmart the twisted creatures that stalked us. We relied on teamwork, our friendship serving as our only beacon of hope amidst the encroaching darkness. We deciphered riddles, solved intricate puzzles, and braved treacherous obstacles together, our bond growing stronger with every step. But the entities were relentless, their pursuit unyielding, and one by one, our numbers dwindled. As we neared the final challenge, tension hung in the air like a suffocating fog. The stakes were higher than ever, and failure meant an eternity trapped in this nightmarish dimension. With trembling hands and racing hearts, we gave it our all, our minds racing against time itself. And finally, against all odds, we emerged victorious. The portal appeared before us, a shimmering doorway back to our world. Relief washed over us, tears of joy mingling with tears of grief for those we had lost along the way. We stepped through, our spirits soaring as we tasted the sweet air of freedom. But our triumph was short-lived. As we turned to celebrate, a chilling realization settled upon us like a heavy shroud. One of our own had been tainted, possessed by an entity from the dimension. Their eyes, once filled with warmth, now burned with an otherworldly malevolence. We had brought back more than just our memories, we had unwittingly unleashed a darkness that would forever alter the course of our lives. The possessed friend, their once familiar face now twisted with evil, lashed out, seeking to claim us as its next victims. The battle that ensued was as much physical as it was emotional, our hearts torn between the memories of the person we had known and the horrifying truth of what they had become. In the end, we were forced to make a heartbreaking decision, a sacrifice for the greater good. We banished the possessed friend, trapping them once again in the dimension that had consumed our lives. Their screams echoed in our minds as we sealed the portal, their fate sealed alongside it. And now, as we gather around a different table, a solemn reminder of the horrors we faced, we find solace in our surviving friendships. We share a bond forged in the crucible of darkness, forever scarred by the curse of the board game. We carry the weight of that otherworldly dimension within us, a constant reminder of the fragility of our reality.
I stood before the imposing mansion, a grand relic from a bygone era, as the attorney's words echoed in my mind. "Congratulations, Mr. Collins. You have inherited your estranged uncle's estate." The news came as a shock, my uncle having been little more than a distant memory. But as I stepped over the threshold of that foreboding mansion, little did I know that I was about to uncover a malevolence that would haunt me to my very core. The air inside the house was heavy, laden with an oppressive stillness that sent a chill down my spine. Dust motes danced in the faint rays of sunlight that filtered through the grimy windows, casting an eerie glow upon the dilapidated interior. Each creak of the floorboard seemed to whisper secrets, secrets that had long been buried beneath the layers of time. Curiosity mingled with trepidation as I ventured deeper into the mansion's labyrinthine halls. Paintings of long-forgotten ancestors adorned the walls, their eyes following my every move. The air grew thicker, as if a suffocating presence permeated every inch of the house. Shadows danced on the periphery of my vision, just out of reach. It was on the third night, as I lay in my bed, that I first encountered the malevolent force that plagued the mansion. I awoke to a shroud of darkness, my lungs constricting as I struggled to breathe. Panic seized me, and I fumbled for the switch, but the lights refused to obey my command. And then, I saw it, a swirling, sentient fog, a living entity that slithered and writhed like tendrils of smoke. Fear clenched my heart as the fog approached, its cold embrace seeping into my very being. Its touch was icy, sending shivers of dread coursing through my veins. I fought against its suffocating grip, desperately gasping for air, but it was as if the fog had a mind of its own, a relentless determination to consume me. Driven by an instinct for survival, I delved into the mysteries of my uncle's past, searching for answers that would free me from this unholy torment. Each step brought me closer to the dark secrets that had long been veiled by my family's name. But the deeper I delved, the more I realized that some doors should never be opened. In my research, I discovered an ancient ritual, a way to banish the malevolent fog that haunted the mansion. Armed with newfound knowledge, I gathered the necessary components and prepared to face the darkness head-on. The hour grew late, the moon casting an ethereal glow upon the mansion's facade as I entered the chamber designated for the ritual. The room crackled with an otherworldly energy as I chanted the incantations, my voice trembling with a mixture of fear and determination. Symbols adorned the walls, their significance lost to time. The air grew heavy with anticipation as the final words left my lips, a crescendo of power vibrating through the room. For a fleeting moment, a hushed silence enveloped the mansion, as if the very fabric of reality held its breath. And then, with a deafening roar, the fog retreated, dissipating into nothingness. Relief washed over me, my body sagging with exhaustion. I had won, or so I thought. But as I turned to leave the room, a voice, a sinister, disembodied voice, filled the air. "You fool," it hissed, dripping with malice. "You have unleashed a darkness far greater than me." The walls trembled, cracks spiderwebbing across their surface. Shadows twisted and writhed, melding into a grotesque form that defied all reason. Before me stood a creature of unimaginable horror, a being that had been imprisoned within the mansion for centuries. Its eyes gleamed with a hunger that sent a chill coursing down my spine. I had inadvertently unleashed a malevolence far more sinister than the fog, a darkness that hungered for my soul. My heart raced as I stumbled backward, desperately seeking an escape. But the creature, this ancient evil, was relentless in its pursuit. The mansion shook, its foundation crumbling beneath the weight of its malevolence. I ran, the echoes of my own screams filling the once sacred halls. As I burst through the mansion's doors, the world outside had become a distorted nightmare. The once familiar landscape twisted and contorted, a reflection of the horrors that lay within. But I could not look back, I could not surrender to the darkness that pursued me. With every ounce of strength left in me, I sprinted through the night, the sounds of destruction and anguish echoing in my ears. The mansion crumbled behind me, its evil consuming itself in a final act of self-destruction. But even now, as I sit in the safety of the outside world, I cannot escape the knowledge that the darkness still exists. It slumbers, biding its time, waiting for the next fool to stumble upon its lair. The mansion may lie in ruins, but its legacy lingers, a cautionary tale of the dangers that lurk within the shadows of our own past.